What's up, beautiful people? You already know this your boy Levar, aka Ramzie, the editor-in-chief of Snubb3d Magazine. And today on the sit down, we have a very special guest. Some of you already may know who this individual is, but you know how we do on the sit down. On the sit down, I don't introduce the guests. I let the guests introduce themselves. So I'm gonna let the guests go ahead and introduce themselves to our people here at Snubb3d Magazine.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? My name is Jerel. I am a singer-songwriter from Detroit, Michigan. I am an R&B artist, you know what I'm saying? Non-stop, non-pop. I have professionally been working as a singer for probably 10, 15 years now. I've worked singing background and touring and just session work for artists like Beyonce, Kanye West, Elton John, Stevie Wonder, and a whole bunch of other people that I can't think of right now. But yeah, that's what I do. I'm a music lover, and that's what we doing. That's what we doing.
Definitely, definitely.
Keeping the
Well, number
R&B
one.
up.
Well, thank you, number one, for joining us today on the sit down. I greatly appreciate you chatting it up with me today. So let's start off with where it all began for you. Let's start all the way at the beginning. How did this passion come about for you? Where you found out, you know what, I have this gift.
My journey, of course, like many other singers, started in church. So I grew up as a church kid on the east side of and I wasn't always the best at it. I wasn't very good when I was younger, you know what I mean? But it's something that I really, really wanted to do and something that I really, really worked really, really hard at. And that passion was always there. And I just had to work to make the passion meet the I'm sorry. I had to work really hard to make the talent meet the passion, if that makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah, definitely. And it's key to say that basically your passion is what drove you to this because as we know, and I say this in many different conversations, we know how this industry is. Sometimes you have your good days and sometimes you have your bad days. So for you, because I was raised in the church as well, so I totally get all the stuff that you see in the church kind of get you ready for the industry, all the
It
different
does.
individuals.
It does. It does for real.
Right. It's like a boot camp that you don't already know that you already in.
No, seriously, seriously. I think in church I learned so much about discipline.
Yeah,
Um, that it still carries me to this day. We all a lot of church kids, have our issues with church, what I mean, for better, for worse. But it was my first platform. It was the first time I learned how to get up in front of people and speak. It was my first public speaking class.
yeah,
Um, I remember having to do Easter speeches and my mom telling me, don't look down at your paper all the time. Look up, make eye
right,
contact with people. You know what I mean? Use your
right.
hand. Don't be afraid to use your hands. So again, for better or worse, it was definitely the first place that gave so many of us opportunities to sing and hone and use our gifts and our talents. So I'm always grateful for that.
Definitely, definitely. So how was this journey for you into moving into the industry? When was your big break given to you, per se? You know, there's been a lot of things like you recently brought out in your introduction, that you've already accomplished, but what was the first thing that it all um, started to move up?
I don't know. I sometimes I still feel like I haven't gotten my big break yet. I'm still working. So I just released a brand new project called She Hates Flowers. It's an EP, some really, really good R&B music. It was featured in Vibe, and I'm really excited about that. That can be considered my big break. Me touring with Kanye West doing Sunday service for 3 years could be considered my big break. Me singing background on Beyonce's Jolene, that could be considered my big break. But I still feel like the big break hasn't quite happened yet, and I'm just preparing so I can be ready.
And I
I am.
think most definitely. And on that note, I think sometimes we as individuals that are in the industry, we sometimes don't notice sometimes when we do major things, like because it's work. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is. It is.
Some
It
things
is.
that
It
like my
is.
family has told me sometimes I look over, some things and I'm like, okay, yeah, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And it's like, okay, I'm marking it off as like this is just something I gotta do. They're looking at me like, did you just hear what just came out of your mouth when you're saying it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
definitely feel that whole vibe of just saying like, you know what? I don't know if I hit that point yet, because
Yeah.
whatever is greater could be, pulling up for me.
And you know what? I try to take the time to be present and to feel the moments and enjoy the moments. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
I do know where I'm going. I know I'm going somewhere. You know what I
right.
mean? I see the vision. But I think it's a mistake to be too focused on the destination and not give yourself space and time to enjoy the journey because nothing is promised.
Definitely. And we could touch on, because you brought it up too. Um, She Hates Flowers. Your EP that dropped. One of my songs already on there is Best and Worst. That was I like that vibe right there already.
Yes.
There was another song from a previous project that I heard from you. Uh
Really? What was it?
what was it, Pyramids?
Oh, Pyramid. So that was
Yeah, Trying.
2016. Yes.
Trying. Yes, that
Yes.
song right there. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. So all of that stuff is super just based on my real experiences. Um, with Best and Worst, it super leans into the traditional R&B space because
Right.
I think people want to hear men singing again, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And being vulnerable and talking about love and talking about relationships.
Yeah.
Um, and that's what I want to be doing. That's what I want to be doing, you know.
Right.
So that's what Best and Worst, and even a song like Trying. Um, I wrote the song was half about me and half about one of my friends. I saw him in his marriage kind of struggling, and I understood what he was trying to say, and so I kind of added that into the second verse. You know what I mean?
Right.
Using my friends' experiences as well as my own. So yeah, yeah, that's what it's about.
And how is that creative process when it comes down to you writing music? Where are you at in your mental place? Some people,
Mm.
we talk to some individuals. I've talked to some artists, and they'll tell me that sometimes it's me just walking around. Sometimes I wake up and I randomly hear a note in my head, and I'm writing. What is that creative process for you?
It's always something different. Like sometimes it'll be a conversation and a line or a sentence is said, and I'm like, ooh, that's a song, and I'll put it in my notes. Or I have a melody in my head and I just can't get it out, and so I'll record it, do a voice note. Like the title track, She Hates Flowers. I was literally driving, I remember this, I was driving to Costco to get gas, and all I heard in my head was "Doo, doo, 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 doo." And I was like, I don't know what that is. What is that? And so I just recorded it, you know what I mean? And then I kept singing it, kept singing it, and kept singing it. And eventually the whole line kind of came out as I'm waiting for gas.
Right.
And I recorded the voice memo and I sent it to his name is Buddha. He's a producer. So I sent it to him. I was like, can you make this something? I know this sounds crazy because I'm literally in my car just sounding crazy, you know. But
Right.
he took it and he built out the whole production for it, and that's how that song came about. So
Wow.
it can go a number. It's not one particular way, you know. I'm
Right.
open. I'm open to letting the spirit use me. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Definitely, definitely. So of course you touched on one part of it. Of course we're going to touch on it. You did sing on Jolene for with Beyonce. On that album, actually we had someone that sang with you on that song.
Ooh,
Jamal was
Jamal
on
is my guy. Yes,
the
yes,
he
yes,
was
yes.
on the sit down, what, the first or second season of it? He was on here with
Very
us
cool.
talking about, what was it? I think the Lion King. I think that was
Oh,
the
yep,
that was the one he was talking about, that
yep,
album.
yep, yep.
Yeah, so that's when we was talking about that. And now here we are with this one, and you so when you
Yeah.
got the phone call for that, what was that experience like for you?
So outside of music, I also am a producer
Right.
in television. So I work in TV. And at the time, I was working on Basketball Wives season 11B, and we had just finished a huge all cast event. I was super tired, super exhausted, and all I was thinking about was getting in my bed, and I was just, like exhausted. And I got the call, and they're like, "Hey, are you available? Can you do this? Can you do that?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, yes."
Right.
And I was like, God, I needed a win tonight because I just felt so tired. You know what I mean? Like, and so
Right.
I got that call and we went in, we knocked it out, had a good time. It's always fun when you get to work with your friends and your
Right.
peers. And so got the call. It brightened up my day.
Right. Definitely.
And I
Definitely.
was super excited to go in and get it knocked out.
Right, definitely. And when you first, I saw your reaction to it, when you did your reaction on Instagram when you heard it.
Yes, yes. So,
You was all over the place. So how was that moment when
yeah,
you first heard it?
because you never know until it's out. You know what I mean?
Right,
Because an
right,
artist can go in and have somebody else record what you did, or they can take what you did completely out. Like there's no guarantees. You know what I mean? So,
right,
um, I was just listening and then I heard it, and I didn't know I was being recorded. I was literally just being my normal crazy, you know what I mean, extroverted self.
right,
So that was just a real genuine reaction, and I think people could feel that. You know what I mean? And so,
right.
that's what caused it to kind of go crazy a little bit.
Definitely, definitely. And you touched on it again. You've been touching on points as I'm going. I'm like, oh, he's hitting everywhere with me. So you did talk about you doing producing. You also touched one of the shows that I believe you produced or worked on, The Sweet Life, right?
Yep, I worked on season 2 of Issa Rae's Sweet Life on HBO
Yeah.
Max. Yep.
Okay, because I was watching that show consistently with
I
that show. I
know,
was
I
like,
know.
please bring it to like a DC level or what color, because we are ready to do it. Like I was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
tagging
yeah.
all of them. And actually, I went to school with Rob.
Oh, really? Oh, you
Yeah,
went to Howard. You went to Howard.
yeah, yeah.
Rob is such a solid dude. He's from Chicago. I'm from Detroit, so we have that Midwest connection, man. He's a
Right.
super solid dude, man. I
Yeah.
mess with Rob.
Yeah, that was my boy because we were frat brothers too. So that's
Okay, dope, dope, dope,
yeah,
dope.
so that's how but yeah, when I was watching that show, I was like, oh, I'm hooked on it. Then when I saw everything, I was like, all right, yeah, here we go with another show.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But it
But
happens, you know?
it does. It literally
Yeah.
does. It literally does.
Definitely. So, what are you looking for as far as this EP has came out? What is some things are you going to what's the packaging going to happen with this? Is there's going to be other things coming along with it? Is there possible in the future we're going to see like a tour or maybe a stop somewhere with this? Like what's the if you could talk about it? I'm just
Um, we are working on all of these things. We're working on all of these things. My focus right now is being consistent.
right,
Like you mentioned, my EP Pyramid that came out in 2016. So I don't want to take another 8-year break. So right now
right,
I'm focused on being consistent and putting out a quality product that people can enjoy so that they will come out when the tour happens, you know what I mean, and buy those tickets and buy the merch.
right.
So right now I'm putting all of the energy into pushing the music to get it to as many people possible, to get it in as many ears as we can because it's good. I believe in it. I believe in the message behind it. I believe in the quality, the delivery, and I mean it. I mean what I'm talking about. I mean what I'm saying. And so I just want people to hear it and enjoy it. And that's the
Definitely.
first step.
Definitely, definitely. So what we do on the sit down, we have these three questions, or three last questions of what
Hmm.
we do on there. Because we have the number three in snub, so we ask you these three questions.
Hmm.
What's three words? The first question is, what's three words that best describe who you are as an individual?
3 words to describe who I am as an individual. I am ambitious. I am fun. I'm a lot of fun. I'm a lot of fun. I'm a lot of fun. And I am considerate.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose one, ambitious. Why did you choose that word?
I chose ambitious because I've always been a dreamer. Um, if you've ever have you ever heard of the kite and the string theory?
Hmm.
I'm definitely a kite. Like I've
Okay.
always been a kite. You know what I mean?
All right.
Somebody can give me an idea, and I'm like, well, you can actually do this, and this will make it bigger. And it's like,
Right.
hey, relax, man,
All
relax.
right.
I have always just been that dreamer and had big ambitions to be at the top and to be the best that I can be. And I know that about myself, and my friends and my family know that about me as well. So that's why I chose ambitious.
Definitely. And the second thing is if you could be in anybody's shoes for one day, past or present, who would you choose and why?
Ooh, I honestly don't. I honestly want to say nobody's because
Okay.
you we don't know what people go through. We
Right.
only get to see what we're allowed to. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what Jay-Z's mental is like. You know what I mean? I
Right.
could step inside his shoes and lose my mind. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because you don't know. But to not ruin the game, to not ruin the question or the
No, no, no,
segment.
you good. I
Uh,
mean, we've had that answer before, so if you it's
um,
whatever you choose.
no, 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 no. That's I feel like it's also a little bit of a cop out. I would say
Right.
if anybody, I would have to say probably Stevie Wonder because I need to
Okay.
know what's going on in that mind.
Okay.
How do you write something like um until what is it until the dolphins fly in Paris live at sea until we dream of life and life becomes a dream until the day that eight times eight is four. Like what was going on in your mind? He
Right.
said, oh, this is the lyric I was looking for. He said, did you know that true love asks for nothing? Her acceptance is the way we pay. Did you know that life has given love a guarantee to last through forever and another day? What?
Right.
What is happening up here
Yeah. Yeah.
to allow you to compose?
Yeah.
What? I would want to step in those shoes to figure out what's going on.
Definitely. I was actually we did a sit down with Samo a couple of days back and we
Dope,
talked to
dope. That's the
him.
homie. I know Simone.
Yeah, so we talked and he was saying Whitney Houston and I would like he said the whole Star Spangled Banner thing and I'm like, yeah, just seeing that she didn't know the lyrics and she just walks
Mhm.
out there and belts this song and it becomes the no the number one way to sing it.
Yep,
The
yep.
only way for us to sing it, right? Because everybody
Well, I got to also give Marvin's version a little love too, but
Yeah,
hers
right.
is the standard for sure, for
Right,
sure.
right, right. But yeah, so it just those creative mindsets, and then who knows that later on in the future, and I was gonna say this as one of the questions to you previously, you never know who's watching you as an
Yeah,
individual, you know,
yeah,
because we become role models ourselves, where people are looking up to us coming from where we come from, and to see us now doing what we love to do in our passion, that later on someone may say, oh, you know what, like what was he thinking when he wrote this album or this EP?
yeah,
Like, what was going on in his head, you know?
yeah, for sure, for sure.
So, and our last part for you is final, what we call final words. What are some things that you want to say to anybody that's out there that's, looking at you? Like I said, you're
Mm.
a role model, and they're like, you know what? I want to get to where he's at. I want to try to get to my dreams in that corner. What do you say to those individuals?
I would say believe in yourself. We waste so much time second guessing ourselves. We waste so much time not committing. You know what I mean? I would say genuinely give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance to go for it, to go after it. Um, that was a conversation that I had with myself, and it's still an ongoing conversation. It's like you know what you want, but have you really given yourself a real shot? Have you really done everything that you can do to make your dreams come true? Have you exhausted every resource? Have you exhausted every option? Have you really pushed? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And if you decide you want something, really commit to it. You deserve, I deserve my best effort.
right,
A lot of times it's easier for us to give our best effort to our jobs, to our families, to kids, to partners, to everything else. But you deserve your best effort. Your dreams deserve your best effort. And I would say this also, um, remember that your dream is given to you. And so it's not for everybody else to
right,
understand, at least not right away. An example I like to use is I have an older brother who is very practical. He's an executive that works sort of on the sales side. And so me being a creative, he's very supportive, but he doesn't always understand.
right,
So I'm grateful that he does support me, you know what I mean? But in certain conversations, I forget like, oh, you don't get it really, you know what I mean?
right,
Like,
right,
and it's never in a negative way, but it's just like, oh, I forget that this is my dream and my journey that I have
right,
to be able to believe in it enough to answer any questions that I might have myself, and also be able to field questions that come from other people who love me and have concern for me. You know what I mean?
definitely.
So yeah, that's what I would say.
Definitely. So where can the people find you? How can they get in touch with you on social media? Let the people know how they can do that.
Y'all can find me everywhere, man. Y'all know where to find me. You can find me. On all social platforms at Detroit Jerel. Mess with me, man. Stream She Hates Flowers right now. It's available. Y'all gonna see me when you pull it up on whatever streaming service. You know, I got the flowers everywhere. You know what I mean? It's an era right now. You know what I mean? Y'all see I got the flowers on the jacket. She
Right,
hates flowers. It's the
right.
era. You know what I mean? You feel me? You feel me? Yes, but definitely check me out, man. All social platforms. Detroit Jerel. You can find me on all DSPs at Jerel, Jerel.
Well, Jerel, thank you so much for joining us on the sit down.
Thank you.
We greatly appreciate it. Any projects, anything that you have going on, whether it's from music to film to TV, whatever it may be, let us know. We'll definitely put it out there and support you. All right.
Don't say that. Don't say that if you don't mean it
We
now, because I got some
listen,
stuff coming.
listen. I just said it on this. I'm telling you, you already know.
All right.
We support all our that ever comes on the sit down. I promise you, we got you.
Incredible, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You have a good one. Okay.
All right, you too. Talk to you soon.
All right, bro.
All right, bye.